If you dance this, Waltz, I'll marry my son to you." William Thompson III sneered loudly enough for all of Manhattan's elite to hear, pointing his champagne glass at the black woman who had just stumbled and dropped a crystal tray on the marble floor of the ballroom. The deafening sound of shattering glass silenced the 200 guests at the opening party for Thompson Holdings' new skyscraper. All eyes turned to Kesha Williams, 35, who had been working as a contract cleaner at the gallery event for just 3 weeks. Before we begin, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more real stories. Also, tell me in the comments where you're watching this video from. "Dad, you're being ridiculous," whispered Jonathan Thompson, 28, embarrassed by his millionaire father's cruel joke. But William completely ignored his son's disapproval, clearly drunk on power and the $1,000 whiskey he had been drinking all night. No, let me finish," William continued, walking to the center of the room as if he were presiding over a court of law. "This person obviously doesn't have the coordination to clean properly. How about we test her to see if she can even move to the beat?" Kesha remained kneeling, picking up the crystal shards with trembling hands, but her eyes revealed something no one there could decipher. It wasn't humiliation or fear. It was a deep calm, as if she were evaluating every word, every cruel laugh, every look of contempt she received. "Mr. Thompson," the event manager intervened discreetly. "Perhaps it would be better nothing." William cut him off, gesturing dramatically. "Play a waltz. If she can dance better than my wife, I'll marry my son to her on the spot." Just imagine the heir to the Thompson fortune marrying the cleaning lady. Collective laughter echoed through the hall like a wave of cruelty. Some women covered their mouths, pretending to be shocked, but clearly enjoying the spectacle. The men shook their heads as if witnessing a perfectly acceptable comedy of bad taste. Kesha finally stood up, wiped her hands on her apron, and looked directly at William Thompson. For a moment that seemed like an eternity, she remained silent as if making a decision that would change not only that night, but the entire power dynamic of that room. "I accept," she said in a clear voice that cut through the air like a sharp blade. The hall fell completely silent. Even the orchestra stopped playing, confused by the unexpected turn the situation had taken. William blinked several times, thinking he had heard wrong. "What did you say?" he asked, his arrogance momentarily shaken by the unexpected response. "I said, I accept your challenge," Kesha repeated, now with a subtle smile that sent an inexplicable shiver down the spines of some of the guests. "But when I dance better than your wife, you will keep your word, even if it was said as a joke." At that moment, while everyone mocked and laughed louder, thinking they were witnessing the biggest embarrassment of the decade, no one noticed the familiar gleam in Kesha's eyes. The same gleam that had once mesmerized audiences on some of the world's most prestigious stages before a single night of tragedy completely changed the course of her life. Victoria Thompson, William's wife, a 50-year-old woman known for giving ballroom dancing lessons to Manhattan's elite, approached with a venomous smile. "Darling, do you really think I need to lower myself to compete with this?" she said, gesturing dismissively toward Kesha. "Don't be modest, Victoria," William replied, clearly enjoying the situation. "You won that Club Waltz trophy last year. That should be more than enough for this demonstration." Kesha watched silently, but her mind flew back 15 years when she was known as Kesha Morrow, principal dancer with the American National Ballet. She remembered the nights when entire audiences rose to their feet in ovation. The reviews that compared her to the greatest ballerinas in history. The feeling of flying across the world's most prestigious stages. It had all ended in one tragic night. A special performance for the political elite, a car accident on the way home, 3 months in a coma, and a cruel awakening to reality. Her legs would never be the same again. The doctor said she would be lucky if she could ever walk normally again. Dance professionally? Impossible. "Jonathan," said William, turning to his son, "go get your camera. I want to record this moment for posterity." The day a cleaning lady tried to pass herself off as a dancer at my event. Jonathan hesitated, clearly uncomfortable. "Dad, this has gone too far. The girl was just doing her job." The girl, William cut him off sarcastically, accepted the challenge, and now she's going to entertain us. "Or would you rather I tell your girlfriend about that embarrassing situation last week?" Jonathan's face paled. Kesha realized that blackmail was involved. Yet another demonstration of the toxic control William exerted over everyone around him. "Put the music on," William ordered the DJ. "And place your bets. $500 for those who bet on my wife to win. $1,000 for those brave enough to bet on the employee." Cruel laughter echoed through the room. Some guests actually began placing bets, treating the situation as free entertainment. Victoria positioned herself in the center of the dance floor, doing a few theatrical stretches to show off her experience. "You know what?" William said, approaching Kesha with a wicked smile. "When you lose, and you will lose, I want you to get down on your knees and apologize for wasting everyone's time. And then, obviously, you're fired." It was at that moment that something changed in Kesha's eyes. The same determination that had led her to dance on international stages. The same strength that had made her fight through months of physical therapy just to walk again. The same dignity that had kept her alive when she lost everything she had worked for her entire life. "Mr. Thompson," she said with a calmness that sent an inexplicable chill down the spines of some of those present. "When I win, and I will win, I want you to keep your word about the marriage. But I also want something else." William raised his eyebrows, amused by her audacity. "Oh, she wants to make demands now. Very well. Amuse me. What else do you want besides marrying my son? I want you to admit in front of all these guests that you judged a woman wrongly based on the color of her skin and the work she does. And I want a public apology." The room tensed. Some guests whispered among themselves, recognizing that the situation had taken a more serious turn than they had expected. William laughed loudly. "You've got guts. I'll give you that. All right, I accept. But when you make a fool of yourself, you'll leave here not only without a job, but without any dignity left." What William Thompson III didn't know was that he was about to face not just a cleaning lady with a mysterious past, but a woman who had lost everything once and knew exactly how hard it was to fight for every crumb of respect in a society that had rejected her. While Victoria warmed up with basic ballroom dance moves, across the dance floor, a silent storm was brewing. Because there is a brutal difference between someone who learned to dance as a hobby and someone who was born to make dance her universal language, even when fate tried to take it away forever. As William strutted across the room collecting bets, a discreet voice whispered near Kesha, "Miss." She turned and saw a black man in his 60s wearing the discreet uniform of the building's security team. "I'm Marcus, head of security. I worked at the National Theater years ago. I saw you dance. Kesha Morrow. I thought you died in that accident." Her heart skipped. Someone recognized her. "The newspapers said you'd never dance again," he murmured. "The newspapers said a lot of things," she replied quietly. "What they did to you was an injustice. And what they're doing now," he glanced toward William, who was laughing with his cronies, "is even worse." "Marcus," she said softly, "I need a favor. After I dance, no matter what happens, record everything. Especially his reaction." He frowned. "Why?" "Because some people need to be reminded that underestimating someone based on their appearance can be the most expensive mistake of their lives." Victoria started the first performance. Polite applause followed her elegant but soulless waltz. Then Kesha walked to the center, each step filled with quiet power. The DJ restarted the track. As the music began, Kesha closed her eyes. Her body remembered what her soul had never forgotten. When she moved, the room changed. It was no longer laughter. They were holding their breath. Every gesture defied their expectations. She spun into a flawless series of pirouettes, leaped with a grace that made time slow down. Whispers turned to awe. "My God, she's magnificent," someone murmured. When the last note ended, the ballroom was silent. Then a sound started. Applause, hesitant, then thunderous. William's face was pale. Who the hell are you?" He stammered. "You lost, Mr. Thompson," Kesha said softly, but her voice carried like a verdict. "And I keep receipts." She pointed to Marcus, who held up his phone. William laughed nervously. "You think a video will ruin me? I own this city." But the video didn't stay in Marcus's phone. Within an hour, it was online. Hashtags trending, millions watching. Sponsors withdrew. Stock prices plummeted. That night, William disappeared from the ballroom without a word. Jonathan approached Kesha quietly. "Are you okay?" he asked, his voice trembling. "For now," she said, smiling faintly. But the war had only begun. 2 nights later, Kesha received the first call. A distorted voice whispered, "You humiliated him. People like you don't get away with that." Then the line went dead. Jonathan stopped answering her messages. Marcus warned her to be careful. Late one evening, as Kesha walked toward the subway, she felt it, the weight of eyes on her back. A sleek black car rolled to a stop beside her. The tinted window slid down slowly. She saw a face she never expected. Her blood ran cold. "Get in," the voice said. The screen goes black. Thank you for watching. If you love this story, hit like, subscribe, and share. And tell me in the comments, what would you do if you were in Kesha's place? See you in the next story.